Okay. Can you see the screen? Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, first of all, hi to everybody. I'm Emily Teixes. Jenny pronounced it really well. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Athos, and it's a pleasure here to be here today. And we hope that we inspire some of you with our vision and with the potential of 3D printing technology. We are a high-tech company with the aim of improving the performance and the health and the practice of sport with 3D printing custom-made products. And we do it in a more sustainable way that we are going to explain. We started focusing on climbing. And this is why one day while we were climbing, one of our colleagues had a deformation in his feet that you can see in the screen. If you have ever climbed, you will know that climbing shoes are a shoe that goes really tight to the feet. It's a really technical shoe. It's not for walking, it's for climbing. So we started investigating the topic, and we found a study from the Association of Medical from America that said that more than 26% of climbers have issues in his feet. So we were aware about it, and we want to do something about it. Also, climbing is a sport that are really different types of climbing, and are different types of road and different types of rock. So each road and rock have different needs. So adaptability is a really important thing in each sport. Okay, so this is why we have created the first customized climbing shoe made with 3D printing technology. And what we are getting with it is more comfortable and we're improving the performance with a shoe that is completely adapted to the feet shape of the user, to the type of climbing that he's practicing, and to the specific needs of each climber. And we are getting also a more sustainable product because of the use of additive manufacturing technology that allows us to produce on demand, which means that we have no stock, we produce only what we sell. And then we use recyclable materials with no animal suffering, which is really important because nowadays brands are using to almost all the climbing shoes animal skin. Okay. So for getting your Athos climbing shoes, you just need to follow 3 steps that you can do anywhere and anytime with your device. First of all, you need to scan your feet with 3 photographies. We're using photometry, so that is enough to create the modeling of the feet of each user. Once you have the feet scan, you can customize your climbing shoe using the application. And finally, you just receive it at home and you can start climbing. Climbing is a sport that it's practiced all over the world, and it's growing so fast these recent years because of the growing number of climbing gyms in the city that allows everybody to start climbing in a more secure and in a more controlled way that people can start and introduce themselves in the practice of the sport. Then another important thing is that for first time in the history, climbing has been an Olympic sport in Tokyo 2021. And our climber from Spain, Alberto Gines, has won the gold medal. So we are really proud about him, and we hope that one day he can wear our Athos climbing shoes. And that professionalization of the sport, it's helping also to keep growing the sport concretely. This is how we position ourselves in the market of climbing shoes. The big difference between Athos and the rest of the companies is the manufacturing process. The 3D printing technology is really a game changer that allows us to create a more sustainable and a more adapted product to each user. And to be here today, we have come a long way. In 2021, we have created our first functional prototypes. We spent all the year validating which were the processes and the materials that are better for our application. In April, we were semi-finalists of the Forward IM Innovation Awards, and we started a collaboration with BASF, Forward IM, the IM 3D Hub from Barcelona, and Sculpteo for the 3D printing and manufacturing development. Then in July also we had a new great partner that was Climber Up, which is the biggest Spanish brand in climbing shoes repair, and is helping us in the definition of the climbing shoe and the product. And then we finished the year being finalists in the Mundus Challenge, and we had the big opportunity to expose our product in the well-known Fornex 3D printing exhibition in Frankfurt. We started this year testing our new prototypes, and our goal is to launch a Kickstarter campaign in October to sell the first 100 pairs of the Athos climbing shoes. To reach that, we're raising right now a seed round to move on to the next stage. So it will be nice if there is anybody interested on it. And finally, I would like to introduce you our team, where we are 5 co-founders directing the different departments of our company. Then we have the pleasure to work with François Minek, the CEO of BSF for where I am, who is helping us with implementation of the additive manufacturing technology. Also with Ismail Almazan, the CEO of Phyla, who is supporting us with his vision, his knowledge to scale up our company. And finally, with Carlos Arenal, the founder of Climber Up, who is helping us in the development of the product and the definition of the product. So to conclude, I would like to say that climbing is just the first step to open a new world of opportunities, and that for us, Athos represents the uniqueness of each person, the power of innovation, and the possibility of creating a more sustainable world with better products. And thank you everybody for hearing, and I'm open to answer all the questions that you have.
Thank you, Emily. Excellent presentation. We should talk afterwards about Pitch 3D. Question from Paul. What material and 3D technology are you using to print the shoes?
We are still defining the final process, but right now we are working with multi-jet fusion for HP and with TPU material from BSF.
Are you open to explore other materials and manufacturing methods?
Yeah, we have a great relationship with BSF, but obviously we are open to explore everything that can make our product better.
Okay, so I have a question, and I've been watching Olympics in the last couple of days, and I think every Olympians are genetic freak because I think their body is just built differently from mine. For example, I would never do what they do because how I was born. I mean, could some of the, for example, the shoes that you have produced, can this make me a better climber, even though I'm not very good?
The question is if the shoes can make you a better climber, or Alberto Finez.
I mean, it looks like the shoe can prevent me from having pain if I climb a lot of times, but can it actually enhance my performance?
This is the goal, because as I said, there are different types of climbing, and depending of the road that you are doing, you need you have one need or another need, and there are specific types of climbing shoes for specific types of road. So what we want to do is adapt specifically to each fit of the user and the road and the performance levels that the user wants to reach. So we want to help in both ways.
Okay, excellent. I want to climb like a mountain goat. That's what I want to do. Okay, I have some questions from the audience. Okay, this is from Imani. Are these climbing shoes custom made by using the MRI of the foot? I think you use a 3D scanner, right, to just scan the patient, the person.
No, we use photometry with the mobile phone, which we just take three specific.
Okay.
We make 3 specific pictures, and with that pictures, we generate the 3D model.
Okay, so several more questions embedded in one is what kind of sustainable material is used? Can the shoes be returned for recycling?
We are using TPU, which can be recycled, and it's not done with animal suffering. That, as I said, the normal climbing shoes, the good performance climbing shoes, all are made with skin and with the animal skin. That is the normal material that is used in the climbing shoe market. So we are using a material that is not animal suffering, and then you can recycle. This is what we are doing.
There's another good question from Ira. What about sanitation? Obviously, athletic shoes are not going to be clean 24/7 by default, but the crevices between layers allow for potential bacteria growth. How do you guys think about that?
This is something that we are studying. For example, the part of the body of the inside the climbing shoe, something that we are testing. So maybe the final product will be different, or maybe not, depending on. We have testers that are testing the product right now, so we will see. Yeah.
Maybe consider the materials. There's some antimicrobial materials out there that I know about. Anyways, there's another question from Paul. And this will be the last question for Emily for now, is do you have the same materials for the sole and the upper part, or do you only 3D print the sole part of the shoes?
What is 3D printed is the entire body of the climbing shoe, and then we put the sole, which is the normal sole that is used for normal climbing shoes, and this sole can be reused. When the sole, you can take off the sole and put once again. So the climbing shoe have different times of lifestyle.
Okay, cool. We have probably more questions. Feel free to enter in your QA box. And Emily, you can also type in your answer directly in the QA box, because some of them we can't address right now, but we can address later. Okay. All right, thank you very much. And let's move on to the next speaker, who is Luis Valdez. He is one of the pioneers of the 3D printing in HP, and has early customer research and technology development starting in 2009. Luis, please take over. And please let me know if I pronounce your name wrong also. I mean, it's just one embarrassment after another today.
You have a host of international speakers, Jenny.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom would say my name is Luis Valdez. Okay, but I'm flexible, so it's all good. Thank you for the invite. All right, so thanks for the opportunity. Let me bring up my screen here. I prepared a few slides, not many, just some pictures to kind of help me tell the story of what I've been working on. Okay, so yeah, so like my job at HP is really to help customers adopt our HP's 3D printing technology. That's really the core of what I do. And I'll do whatever it takes. No, if it means printing parts, designing, setting up a digital thread, doing an economic model, these are all the things that are within my scope of work. I've done some of that for healthcare customers, for industrial customers. And the last couple of years, I've been working with a few footwear brands to see how we can use this technology to make better products in the end of the day. All right. So I'll walk you through more or less the development and the opportunity, and I'll share with you the two things that are really critical to be successful in this space. Okay. So the first thing that I wanted to share with you is that we did this experiment last year with a bunch of runners, and essentially we gave them the same shoe to several people, and then we asked about a specific attribute. Okay, something like, hey, let's focus on stiffness, for example. How soft or how rigid do you perceive this shoe to be, right? And we just gave him a rating from 1 to 5, okay, and then everybody did. And then the second thing that we asked is, hey, how much do you like that? Do you like that a lot, or you don't like that at all? No. And the responses from the survey was really more like what you see here in the graph. Okay, so on the horizontal axis, you see the perception, if it's high or low. And on the vertical axis, you see if I like it a lot or no. And my original thinking was, well, everybody's going to perceive the same attribute the same, but different people like different things. So I would expect the data to be more like the crosses here that you see on the graph. Okay. Well, turns out the real data is actually the blue dots that you see on the screen here, and that told me two things. One, people have different perceptions of how something is interacting with your body. Okay, so that was number one. There's a whole field of science around to study this. It's called psychophysics, and how people perceive objects in the real world with their hands, with their body, with their eyes, with their ears. And that conclusion kind of repeats itself over and over. And then the second thing, that it was obvious from this chart that it was really hard to please everybody with only one shoe, right? So if you were trying to make a shoe for this person here on the top left, you would make it low stiffness, for example, and he would really love it, no? Whereas for this person here, he didn't really like it too stiff, and maybe we need to bring it up a level to a little bit lower so that he would actually like that shoe for him, okay? And we repeated that experiment for several attributes, fit, stiffness, traction, comfort, cushion, energy return, all the different attributes. And we always got this kind of scatter plot